From the Allen Media Worldwide Headquarters Studios, high atop 2 Turtle Creek, this is Deconstructing Dallas. Greetings, everyone. This is your host, Ryan Trimble, coming to you live from another sunny January day here in Big D, alongside the very refreshed-looking Shawn Williams. Shawn, good day.
Good day to you, Ryan Trimble. You know, I was with one of our clients from the parking spot, Sarah Fisher, and she just came in from Chicago, where she barely made it out and is going back to Chicago, where they expect like sub-negative 20 type weather, like negative 20 degrees, and I don't even think that's wind chill.
No, thank you.
And it's funny because Malia thinks that she wants to live in Chicago, and Sarah was like, well, maybe I should talk to her because that is not the place you want to be right now.
You can have all my shares of Chicago. I'm good.
Yeah, it's going to be cold here, but we're going to be like 30 degrees above zero, and that's going to be cold.
That's enough for me.
But by the weekend, we're looking at a balmy 72 degrees, my friend.
I love it. I love meteorologist Shawn Williams, everyone.
I do pride myself on being an amateur meteorologist. Sometimes my friends call me, especially during kind of spring weather season, just to make sure, you know, you don't, whether or not you need to get in the closet or not for the storm that's coming. I get those calls, but that maybe like pseudo-architect sometimes. I do have an appreciation for building.
You and I have joked about the National Weather Service coming out of Fort Worth, the emails before, and just how hilarious they are.
Well, I know your wife gets those emails, and when I worked at the police department, as well as when I was in media relations with the city of Dallas, I got all those emails, and I love those emails. I mean, especially, you know, if there was the threat of ICE coming to town, you know, we wanted to make sure that all of the salting trucks, the sanding trucks were in place, and all precautions were taken to make sure
I just love the lingo on those. It's like, well, the ceiling is high, but the likelihood is low. It's like...
it really didn't...
It's like these guys should be in Vegas making wages, making lines. So much hedging going on.
Oh, man. So you also look refreshed, and I think it's because you just came back from the Allen Media Public Affairs Group retreat. I think that might be why you're looking so refreshed. It
was great. Great effort by my co-host, my great colleague, Shawn Williams. He took the lead on this year's retreat. We really got after it, set some goals, got refocused for the year, and so I think it's going to be a benefit to all of our clients out there. We're all on the same page. We all have some visions for how this is going to go, and so it was a good event. Nice to, you know, get a big, 360 degree view, 330,000 foot view.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I think we took a look at our business, which is great, and I think we set some great business goals. We also continued some goals which we had last year, which included gratitude and following your lead, which you are a machine when it comes to writing thank you notes. I mean, you know, if Ryan Trimble doesn't have anything going, and he has a lot, but if you just start with writing thank you notes and being on point with business cards, I mean, he has got you covered. But that was something that we picked up from you last year, and I can't tell you, I would send out thank you cards to people that we had meetings with or people who had been newly elected to positions, and they would send me back a picture of the note that they received. Like, man, that was cool. Thank you. I don't get very many handwritten notes these days. So that's something that we picked up. And I thought the other thing that was fun that we did was the flash talks, where each person on our team was responsible for giving a 4-minute talk about themselves. And it could be any aspect about themselves that they wanted to learn about. And we learned about my co-host that he tried out for a minor league baseball team back in the day.
That's right. It was a great day. It was a frosty, colder January day than today, for sure. And a big thanks to then my girlfriend, now my wife, Mrs. Trimble, for sticking it out and watching me whiff on every pitch. I hadn't swung a bat in probably 4 or 5 years, and laid down a nice bunt. But other than that,
that's something.
Yes, so I didn't completely strike out, but Yeah, that was a tough day, and we learned about your ventures in door-to-door salesmanship in the great state of Michigan.
Yeah, I took a summer and worked with one of my fraternity brothers, Eric Brooks, in Muskegon, Michigan, selling the student handbook door-to-door. And, the most interesting part about the business model there is that as a college student, we went up to Michigan from Texas A&M, and we did not have a place to live. And so we started, and this was my first sales job, and we started by going door to door asking people if we could live with them for the summer and pay them roughly $15 a week.
That's amazing.
No need to really say that we did not get anyone to take us up on that offer. But as I mentioned, after going to stay with one family who then introduced us to another family, we actually stayed all summer, all 3 months for free. They let us stay there rent-free. It was one of our fraternity brothers who we eventually connected with. But, again, the moral of that story was I learned more about people that summer and how good people are in this world, in this country, than I at any point I ever have. So, so that was, the benefit of the retreat. And shout out to Mary Woodleaf and Aaron Ragsdale and Kelsey Huntsman, who all participated. And again, I think we are ready to get onto a great 2019.
Absolutely, Shawn. So let's talk about today's show.
Yeah, so today we have a good friend of mine that's coming in. We have Veronica Torres, who is the founder and CEO of Hey Chica Summit, the Hey Chica Summit. And I'm looking forward to Veronica because when we first talked about Hey Chica, it was in the midst of her, number one, as a successful entrepreneur, but, doing yoga, doing mindfulness, meditation, fitness, and it was something that she had kind of as a vision, as a goal. And last year, she had an excellent summit, where I believe she had over 300 ladies who participated, and she'll tell us more about that. But I'm really excited to know more about her vision for Hey Chica and how she is looking to build upon that. Yeah,
she brought together a big group of Latina leaders last year. I know Nina Vaca and Arcelia Acosta, some big names here locally that are Latina leaders in our city. So looking forward to visiting with her about this. She is a neat lady. I've gotten to know her a little bit. I used to know her just from afar, but now, working with you and getting to know her through several other contacts, I'm really looking forward to visiting with her today.
Speaking of health and fitness, I see you have a Fitbit over here.
Yes, sir. This is my new Fitbit, and thank you for accepting my friendship.
Yeah, it's good to be your friend as well.
Well, it's good because you're my only friend on Fitbit, Shawn. So if anybody else has a Fitbit and wants to friend their favorite podcast host here, feel free.
It'd be nice. I think that, it would be good for Ryan to have more than one Fitbit friend. So any of our listening audience who is into the Fitbit, please reach out to Ryan because, he's got his hands full with his one friend so far.
Shawn was asking me what the heck I was doing prior to the recording this episode because I was walking around the studio here because I just got my weekly report that you beat me by 4,000 steps last week. So I got to get on it, Shawn.
You'll get in the groove, man. You'll get in, and when the weather's going to be nice. I mean, what are you at today?
Well, I'm only at 7,000, but 21 flights of stairs today, Shawn.
Yeah, mine doesn't do stairs very well. I don't know. I'm like at 12,000. I don't really keep up, but but we are excited about our guest Veronica Torres, who is going to be joining us right after this. So please stay tuned. This is Deconstructing Dallas. Shawn Williams, Ryan Trimble. We'll be right back.
Question is, Enjoy an evening of soul-stirring gospel sounds with classical orchestrations featuring Grammy Award winner Marvin Winans, a 200-person unity choir, and special guest conductor Jerry Lynn Johnson with a tribute to the late Aretha Franklin. Join the Dallas Symphony Orchestra for Gospel Goes Classical, Thursday, February 7th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets start at $29. Proceeds benefit Project Unity, dedicated to improving race relations. Visit mydso.com for details.
Deconstructing Dallas, Ryan Trimble, Shawn Williams. Shawn, exciting day here in the studio. We've got the founder and CEO of the Hey Chica Summit. She is Veronica Torres. Hello, Veronica.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
It's so great to have you here in our studio.
Oh my God, thank you for asking me to be here. Yeah. I'm impressed with what you guys are doing, so this is an honor.
Yeah, well, we're impressed with what you have done with the Hey Chica Summit. You know, we've seen seen some of your videos from last year's event, and I mean, what a huge movement you've got on your hands here. Tell us about the summit.
Yeah, so, you know, we planned that summit in 3 months. People think it took a whole year, but a band of women in Dallas who were friends of mine for a long time, when I shared the idea of putting this together and what I wanted it to look like, came together and really put this on. And then SMU was like, we want this here. So, I mean, it turned into something really incredible and more beyond professional. It became a real sisterhood for Latinas in Dallas.
Mm-hmm. But I know, you and I sat and talked about this before you even started planning on it, and you told me about a wellness summit. You talked about some of the things that had gone on in your life. So can you talk about what inspired you to start this summit?
Yes, absolutely. So 2 years ago, my husband and I experienced a loss of a child. We had twins, and we had a boy and a girl, and our son had passed away a day after that. And I was going through this tremendous amount of grief, anxiety, and postpartum, and so I still had another baby that I had to take care of. So a lot of that was going on, and I had really experienced heartache because I had 2 girlfriends that I had to sort of part ways with, and I like a breakup on top of that. And I was in a dark place. I went to therapy. Nothing was really allowing me to have space to heal from any of that. And I was literally practice meditation, had never done that before. Even though I own a yoga studio, I wasn't really practicing any of the stuff that I was selling in the yoga studio. And I sat down and I started meditating, and I wrote an entire program around my life, around heartache, around not being around mean girls anymore, a side hustle, everything that I had done in my career in the last 15 years. I had written down a curriculum or a track on how I can teach another woman to do that, or actually put her in front of people who can speak about those topics. Because for me, I was very fortunate to have mentors turn around and lift me up, like a Nina Baca or Celia, that were lending their name to me. Well, I think there's a huge gap between these young Latina professionals and sort of the old guard, right, for lack of a better word, that no one had turned around in a long time to reach up and bring women up. So a lot of women were reaching out to me in social media, like, can I have coffee with you? Can you tell me how you did this or whatever? And going through those dark places, I was like, I don't want to be around mean girls. I want to be around women that want to contribute. And then obviously the Me Too movement, it became the year of women and empowerment. So a lot of the stars were aligned. And I had this journal. It's a sketchbook, and I wrote out the tracks. I wrote out descriptions for it. I thought I want it to be South by Southwest. I want it to be highly activated, and I wanted to bring the best speakers that were going to pour into other women. And wrote it down, and I started meeting with people like, hey, do you like this idea? What do you think about this? Even you, Shawn, I was talking to you about that.
Absolutely.
And everyone that I spoke to were like, oh, shit, we need that in Dallas, and to use that. But that was how everyone's reaction was, like, there's nothing like this in Dallas. There's no Latina organization like this. And I wanted to do a wellness conference. Right. I was like, I want to do a wellness conference called We Recover and Reset, because I was in the yoga industry. I have my yoga studio. And I thought, oh my God, women need therapy. They would need to learn how to overcome grief, bad friendships, bad breakups, divorce, whatever. And then it turned out to be the leadership summit first. So that was what we did in October.
That's so interesting. I think it's really cool that your focus on personal health turned into kind of community health of sorts, and so that's really cool. Can you tell us about some of your success stories or some of the responses you had after the summit?
Right. So honestly, like, I left that day so overwhelmed with gratitude. I felt something I never had felt in a community standpoint like that. Usually when you think of Dallas and you think of how it's still pretty much, well, at least in the Hispanic community, it's still very much segregated between the established and the not established, and there's not a gap there. When I left there,